Ooh, that's bright. Something will happen in a minute, I promise. Really. Let's leave the weather well enough alone. I think it's... Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. If you're not already standing, would you please now rise for the arrival of His Honour, the Lieutenant Governor of British Columbia and the official party. Thank you. Please be seated. Since I no longer do the weather on television, I cannot take responsibility for what's happened over the last couple of days, but we hope you found that very exciting and invigorating. And it was a great choice for us to come inside. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to the official opening of Jeneece Place. My name is Bruce Williams. I'm from CTV Vancouver Island. I'm also the co-fundraising chair for this event. We'll hear more about that stuff later on. It's been quite a ride. I want to tell you, first of all, we had made plans to have a First Nations welcome from Elder Elmer George, representing the Esquimalt and Songhees Nations today. Unfortunately, Elmer wasn't able to be with us. Elmer did do a blessing of the land before we broke ground, which was not all that long ago, and he will come back next week to bless the finished house. You know, there's an old saying that says that if you want something done, give it to someone who's busy. The people that stepped forward to make this project happen were all very busy, continue to be very busy, and were remarkably busy through this entire process. You're going to see a whole accounting of this in a couple of minutes here with a video presentation, but in the meantime, real quick version of how this happened. Jeneece Edroff, of course, our hero, raised some money for Variety, the children's charity. She raised over $1 million by collecting pennies all over Vancouver Island. As she was getting near the end of that campaign, my dear friend Mel Cooper and I went to visit the family and said, so, if you're not going to reach your goal this year, we want to help you do that so that you can move on to whatever it is you want to do next. We were told at that time, in fact, they were going to pass their goal of $1 million and succeed with that. We said, good for you. What do you want to do next? Well, Jeneece had a plan that she wanted to build a house, a home away from home where families can stay when they need to be in Victoria for medical reasons, which very often happens unexpectedly. So then, of course, Mel and I, being very clever men, despite that said, what can we do to help? And the answer was, build the house. So a team was put together that did the initial planning and the original business plan on making this happen. The Jeneece Edroff Society was formed. I actually ended up as the board chair of that. That group got together, and with the terrific assistance of the Canada Revenue Agency, you've all heard of them, they gave us the expert guidance that indicated that we were not the organization that needed to do that. In fact, we couldn't. At the same time, we had spoken to the Queen Alexandra Foundation about possibly locating Jeneece Place on their grounds, because a number of families do, of course, visit Queen Alexandra and need to stay over. Further consultation and study indicated that the facility needed to be built next to the hospital. And when our society found that we couldn't carry on, it was Queen Alexandra that stepped up to do that. At this time, I do want, though, to acknowledge the original parties that came together to form the Jeneece Edroff Society and start this project. And I don't know if all of you are here or not, but if you want to stand up and wave or just say hello. Barry O'Barra, Kiara Kahakawilla, Diane Canstrup, Chelsea Canstrup, Jill Turner, Jennifer Saunders, and John Price were the original group that started this whole thing off. We got together with the amazing leadership of Joyce Spencer-Barry and Jennifer Giuseco at Queen Alexandra, and we first met to start this in July of 2009. And here we are with the house. A whole bunch of people came together. I could list a list of names. All of those names will probably come up later on. But in the meantime, we're going to move along right here and get our agenda underway. We have some folks that are going to say some very important things and make some very creative music. The high school singers of the School District 62 Program for Academic and Creative Achievement, or PACE, an organization which Jeneece has been a part of, are going to begin and entertain us right to the beginning now. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the PACE group.
this lonely path you've chosen for a house that is a home. Sometimes when you feel you've had enough and you felt like
like giving up. You can to be all you can be, and nothing can stop you.
I believe in the power that comes from a world brought together as one. I believe together we'll fly. I believe in the power of you and I. This is the moment you have dreamed of all your life. You are the change you wish from others. You stand tall for what is right. And in our hearts there'll be no doubt. The arms of the world will come reaching out and embrace you to be all you can be. Now nothing can stop you. I believe in the power that comes from a world brought together as one. I believe together we'll fly. I believe in the power of you and I believe the time is right now. Stand tall and make the world proud. I believe together we'll fly. I believe in the power of you and I believe in the power. I believe in. I believe in you. I believe in. I believe in you. I believe in. I believe in. I believe in you. I believe in. I believe in you. I believe together we'll fly. I believe in the power of you and I believe the time is right now. Stand tall and make the world proud. I believe together we'll fly. I believe in the power of you and I believe in the power of you and I.
Thank you, Pace. Nicely done. A number of us who have been involved in this project and in Jeneece's life over the years have known that Jeneece and her family have had an ongoing and continuing issue with her health. That's what brought a lot of this stuff on, of course. The stark reality of it is that Jeneece and Angie and Dennis and Nick, very early in Jeneece's life, were told that there was some possibility that she may never walk, which she now does. In fact, it's hard to keep up. There was also some possibility presented that she might not even live to be a teenager. That also has been proven wrong and is going forward very strongly. At any opportunity to take a look at what might have been considered to be a disability, they chose instead to deal with the ability. And it's that ability that made that project in the past and the project today come to its fruition. And in fact, yesterday was a milestone because we're not only here to open Jeneece Place, we are here to celebrate Jeneece's 18th birthday, which was yesterday. So without further ado, there's cake. It's birthday cake. Please bring it out. Jeneece, come on forward here. Stand in front of your birthday cake. If you want to have a piece, you go right ahead. It's your birthday. You go, girl. It's your birthday. And all of us together right now, if you would join me, we're going to sing happy birthday to Jeneece.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jeneece. Happy birthday to you.
She is so good at this stuff. Did you see that? She didn't blow the candles out till all the pictures were taken, till the cameras were set. Media savvy. This kid's an amazing fundraiser. Old saying as well, it says that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and if that's the case, a video is worth 1,000,000 words. At CTV Vancouver Island, we had the privilege of putting together a video to show you exactly what this life has led to and how this project came together. So if you would please direct your attention to the screen closest to you and enjoy this.
When Jeneece was 3 years old, we took Jeneece to see the geneticist, and he diagnosed her as having neurofibromatosis type 1.
When the surgeon saw her, he expected that he may have to operate at such a young age and have to operate on a spine. It wouldn't grow, and so her life expectancy was a lot shorter.
Just dealing with those health issues, the idea of having to find a place to stay, and then you have to go out and shop, and then you've got to think of feeding everybody throughout the day. It's almost more than most people can handle.
Growing up with Jeneece, always traveling back and forth between Victoria and Vancouver when she had her surgeries or appointments, it was very difficult, being worried about my sister and what she's going through.
Jeneece every year used to love watching the telethon. So she started a penny drive in her school and raised $164. And she said, that wasn't enough. Each year the penny drive grew and grew and grew, going from $52,000 to $82,000 the next year, and then $96,000 the year after that.
One of the camera people asked her, "How much do you want to raise, Jeneece?" And Jeneece just went,
like $1 million.
Very little voice, and they just basically tapped her on the head and just says, yes, sure you do. You don't even know what $1 million is. And 7 years later, she was able to raise $1.25 million.
Jeneece was one of the kids that we helped almost over a decade ago, and then she turned around and helped us by launching a coin drive that raised over $1 million.
Well, we knew that she'd want to do something else, so Bruce Williams and I chatted with her, and the family came over one day, and we said, "Are you ready to talk about what you want to do next?"
They then explained how Jeneece had spoken to them about wanting to create a home away from home for families because they'd spent so much time in Vancouver, Jeneece herself, how it was important to find a place that would feel like a home so that where a family is going to stay would be the least of their problems.
Proudly writes in $1 million to Jeneece Place.
Her unwavering tenacity and selfless desire to build Jeneece Place, a home away from home for sick children and their families, has inspired TELUS and our communities across Vancouver Island to rally behind her dream.
TELUS believed in it. TELUS believed in it not for a little bit of money, they believed in it for a lot of money. And that got everyone's attention.
She asked for $250,000, and as I say, it was a short meeting after she had left that we decided to give her $1 million.
Our foundation, we matched the Norgaard $1 million, so pretty soon we had a target of 80 or 85% of total funding, and then we could stick the shovels in the ground.
Every time it came around to the discussion of where do we want this thing built, we'd always go to Jeneece and she'd say, "Well, build it next to the hospital." It's pretty simple. Build it next to the hospital. That's where it has to be.
We took this to our board and we determined that we did have a piece of ground just beside Victoria General Hospital where we felt it could be a great location for families and siblings and patients to spend some time when they were not actively receiving treatment in the hospital.
The land was provided by the Vancouver Island Health Authority, supported by the province of British Columbia, because we knew that the dollars that were being fundraised to build the facility would be better spent there than on the acquisition of the property.
The Regional District Board saw to it, and so did the town of View Royal, that this was a good thing to do. How can we make it work and how can we do it better?
From One of the first people that I spoke to when the project got started was Alan Lowe, to see if he had any interest in coming on board as the architect. He said, absolutely.
The project, I would say, happened very quickly. Jeneece told me what she wanted. She had drawn little floor plans herself.
I wanted a home away from home with nice movie room, games, and nice for the kids, and a really nice communal kitchen for the families, and each bedroom with its own bathroom, and just everything that a family would enjoy or a kid would enjoy if they had to be away from home.
She wanted it fun, she wanted it colorful. As you can see downstairs in the great room, it's colorful. Bring your sunglasses. But it's, you know, it's a fun place for kids to go to, and she was really determined to have, you know, her theater room and her craft room and her games room, and there've been a lot of generous donations towards those.
From the engineers to the landscape architect to the construction manager and the contractors. The donations that we received on this project was incredible.
Here was something where we could get involved at a bricks and mortar kind of level. We could see some tangible results, and it was in our community, so we just we jumped at it. And we had a lot of the construction community in Victoria come forward to us and jump on board, asking what could they do for us. That's a real turnaround.
We have designed the landscape so that when you're inside the great room, you can look out and you can see almost the whole rear garden. So there's a level of comfort if you've got your children out there and you want to be inside, or you're cooking dinner or doing something with adults, and the children can be out playing just like they might do if you were at home.
Jeneece asked that somehow native art be incorporated into this new Jeneece Place, and I think this is a wonderful idea because the Jeneece Place is going to be used by a lot of native people from communities all over Vancouver Island.
I will be submitting 2 art pieces. One of them has a lot of balloons, the other is an underwater theme. And I hope that when they see it, it'll make them light up, make them happy, feel good with all the different colors.
I have spoken to probably 3/4 of the Rotary clubs on Vancouver Island, and most of them have pledged money, which has now created a $100,000 endowment, which will name a Rotary room at Jeneece Place.
The Peninsula Co-op saw this as an opportunity to really make an impact in the community and to leave a legacy. And so we chose to come in at the $100,000 level, and we felt that that was just a really important indication to the Queen Alexandra Foundation how much we admire and respect the work that they do and how proud we are to be a partner in that work.
Jeneece was one of our dream kids, and we helped her 3 times through different stages of her life, dealing with her life-threatening medical condition.
So years ago, we felt the inclination to try and build something similar to Jeneece Place, but we just didn't have the capacity. When we heard of Jeneece Place happening, we felt that we were 100% on board because that was our dream.
Jeneece has a gift to share with many people, and she has inspired many young people to become involved with something they believe in. And this is also something that CFAX Santa's Anonymous Society is hoping for the new generations to learn about giving in their community.
When I work with those families as they go through the preparation before surgery, when they know that they've got a place that they can go to, you can see some of the stress levels come down.
This building being there is huge. We were lucky we had the support of our community, our families, and we only live 2.5 hours away. For those people that come from a lot farther away, this is going to be an even bigger thing. So.
It'll be, I think, something that the community will be proud of, and Jeneece is the magic ingredient.
She's just, as I say, an inspiration to us all, and she's made a difference. She really has made a difference.
Every time I drive by there, it puts a smile on my face. It's community. It's about giving back, paying it forward.
A whole community has done this. This isn't something that a business does or, you know, for its own self-interest. This is everybody that's recognized it.
There are legions of people who have taken the IOUs, the credits, the community values, and have merged this, melded it into a reality that will make a difference.
It's just a real celebration of giving.
That dream is becoming a reality, and it's just so amazing how quick this has gone.
Having Jeneece Place on hospital property, and just that security of being able to look out the window and see the hospital right in front of you will give those parents a true opportunity to let down and relax.
It's pretty cool what people are doing to help out.
I think the biggest message we could give is thank you, because the most powerful words in the English language are the words thank you.
Well, that's inspiring, and you can actually take a look at that again if you like when you get home. If you go to the website, www.jeneeceplace.org, that video will be there for you to take a look at and enjoy. Thanks again to Steve Olofsson and the team that put that together. As you can see, a lot of people came together on the team, and I really mean team, because there really was no point where anyone wasn't a part of this team. Anyone who was asked to help, helped. A lot of people came forward before being approached to help, which is why this project moved forward so quickly. The Queen Alexandra Foundation for Children are the ones who put this project together and managed it and have achieved all that we have. I would like at this point to introduce to you the chair of the board of the Queen Alexandra Foundation for Children to tell you more about that and talk about some numbers. That's what accountants do. Would you please welcome Chuck Chandler.
Well, good afternoon. Your Honor, special guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the official opening of Jeneece Place, and thank you for rearranging your busy lives to be with us today after accommodating our change of date brought on us by Mother Nature. On April 4th this year, we broke ground for Jeneece Place on a very wet and muddy April day. Here we are 9 months later, and the weather's not changed, but I can promise you that there's no mud for you to get into unless you want to on the site of Jeneece Place today. When the BC Women's Institutes founded the Queen Alexandra Solarium for Crippled Children in Mill Bay in 1927, with the support of communities and people on Vancouver Island, it was a home away from home for children suffering from polio, tuberculosis, and related major medical challenges of children of that time. In the 85 years since then, the Queen Alexandra Foundation has continued to bring together communities to support children and youth with special needs and their families in so many ways. Who would have contemplated 85 years ago that we would be standing here today celebrating the opening of a very different kind of home away from home? So much has changed since those early days. But what has not changed is the commitment of the Queen Alexandra Foundation for Children to support children, youth, and their families in times of need. The opening of Jeneece Place today is the newest example of that commitment and is a testament to how communities rallied around the foundation in the support of those facing a family crisis. Fulfilling Jeneece's dream would not have been possible without the incredible support of communities up and down Vancouver Island, the Gulf Islands, and indeed around the world. In the short 18 months since the Queen Alexandra Foundation took on the job of realizing Jeneece's dream, I am pleased to announce today that we have raised an amazing $6.5 million. Now that surpasses our original goal by more than $1 million. Not only will these funds cover the construction costs of Jeneece Place, they will also continue to allow us to provide comfort and support to children and families well into the future. Over the next 10 years, you will help an estimated 6,000 families. What a dream come true. This has only been possible through the generous donations of individuals and corporations in our community. Let me tell you about them. Mel Cooper and Bruce Williams recognized Jeneece's ability to inspire our humanity and introduced her to Queen Alexandra Foundation and Darren Entwistle, president of TELUS. TELUS responded enthusiastically with a $1 million leadership gift. Through the dedication